Happy Saturday, Las Vegas. It is Monique Buchanan, the host of the Welcome Home with Monique show, your friend in real estate here in the beautiful Las Vegas area. Listen, I'm excited about the show today, but I also have to give myself a shout out as it is my birthday. So happy birthday to me. I'm so excited that the Lord has allowed me to see yet another year. You know, I'm thankful for my health. I'm thankful for you guys, my listeners, my family, my friends, my team. You know, I just want to give the biggest shout out to Jesus Christ, my Savior, who opened this door and this platform for me to be a blessing, hopefully, to my community with the information that I provide. So there it is, you guys. It's my birthday. I'm out somewhere having fun, cutting up. But anyways, I have a great show for you guys. I've got one of my team members on. Say hi, Brittany.
Hey, everybody. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm excited to talk to you all with Monique.
Yes, and we will be having a little wine later with Monique. No, you guys, Brittany is on my team. I don't know if you guys remember like a week or two ago, I talked about, you know, me listing. So you guys hear me a lot talking to my buyers. And yes, I do love my buyers, but I also I'm very experienced in listing properties as well. I also list homes very often. A lot of times my buyers will call me a couple, years down the road and say, hey, Mo, we want you to list the property. So yes, please understand that I do both. Me and my team assist with listing properties as well as buyers. Okay. Now, Brittany, I actually told you guys a story that included her a couple weeks ago. I was mentioning the power of KUNV 91.5. This platform that is unique to me because God opened this door for me. It is unique to me and is able to bless not only my team, but my buyers and sellers as well. And the way it's able to do that is it has over 100,000 listeners per week. I told you guys about, it was Brittany that had that listing that she was having, a hard time getting people through the door.
Yes.
She was having I'll let you tell them, Brittany, about your listing and how this platform, it helped you in selling that property.
Absolutely. So initially I was not working with Monique, and I decided to come to Monique's team after working with her on this deal. I had a listing and it just wasn't getting enough traction and enough movement. So we weren't getting the buyers that we needed. And my sellers were in a really sticky situation. Right. They had already purchased another property and they were moving out of state, and they really just needed to be out of the home. And so I came to Monique. We were friends at the time and great colleagues. And I was just kind of expressing to her the situation. And she said, well, why don't we put this property on the radio? I have the show. She's a really good friend of mine, like I said. And I said, yeah, that would be awesome. It helps all of us all the way around.
Right.
So we put it on the show. We did an open house the next week. And I cannot tell you, my phone was ringing off the hook. The property ended up going into escrow within the next week, and everything just worked out beautifully. So I just cannot give Monique enough praise, and I cannot give 91.5 enough praise, because this show and this radio station has been truly a blessing, like she said. But the amount of exposure that you are going to get from listing a property with the Buchanan Group is it's unsurpassed. I don't think you're going to find it in the Las Vegas market. And so come to Monique Buchanan Group.
Well, thank you, Brittany. No, but honestly, it is a unique platform,
It is.
I have some amazing listeners from every walk of life.
Right.
That's my favorite part about this platform is my listeners. They're from every walk of life. The sweetest people you ever wanted to meet.
Yes.
I'm very blessed.
Yes.
You know that.
Absolutely.
You know that, right?
Yeah.
So anyways, you guys, that was Brittany's listing. I think your clients were moving to LA.
They were. Yeah. They were moving from Vegas to LA, and that's kind of an opposite move that people make, right? You normally see the Los Angeles to Las Vegas, but they were just ready to get back to their old lifestyles. But it worked out, and I genuinely believe that it worked out not only because of Monique's expertise, but because of the exposure that this platform provided.
Right. And so this show actually airs on Saturdays, and that's typically when the open houses are held. Mm-hmm. So a lot of times people will be, washing their car, just cleaning up, listening to the show.
Right.
And, a lot of folks like to go out and look at open houses on Saturdays and Sundays.
Absolutely.
So, but anyways, you guys, if you're thinking of listing your property, Listen, we are here to help. Me and Brittany are here to help. I have a team. Me and my team will definitely love to assist you. Okay.
Yes.
So if you're looking for that and you're thinking, okay, it's springtime, because I was telling them, Brittany, National Association of Realtors said that this is the best time right now to sell, last week and on. And it is, no matter what's going on in the market, it seems like every spring we get busy with listings.
Right. Well, it's the time where families can make moves, individuals can make moves. You're in a space where the weather is good, right? If you need to move, you can actually do that.
Right.
But also your kids are not in school. You're able to really make decisions that are going to be beneficial for your family in the long run,
right,
instead of making them right in the middle of holidays.
Yes.
and just not the best time. So this is the time to start really thinking more seriously about what you want.
Yeah, and they were saying that you'll get, on average 16% more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that was National Association of Realtors had that. So I said, wow, I got to let I have to let my listeners know.
That's a significant increase.
It is. So anyways, you guys, if you've been thinking about listing that property, we are here to assist. Okay. And right now, like I've told you before, we're starting to see more, and you as well, right? Mm-hmm. Multiple offers again on the table.
Yes.
So yeah, the listings that we have now are getting multiple offers, especially in that $500,000 or less price point.
Right.
Right.
So if that's your price point,
yes,
you might want to think about it.
Definitely, because we don't know what's going to happen
with
all the, everything that's going on. But I do know right now that listing will get sold in a lot faster than it would have even just 2 months ago.
Absolutely.
So it's definitely the time. Right. So now let's go ahead and talk about if they do want to list, what should they look out for? I'll let you run with this a little bit, Britt, because I know you love listings too.
What should they look out for? Well, when you list your property, there are going to be things within your escrow, let's say typically a 30 to 45 day closing, that you just want to be prepared, right? You want to have all your paperwork in order. You do want to make sure that you list your property with a realtor that is going to point you in the right direction.
Right.
The escrow officer is the person in charge of the paperwork process and the money process from the beginning of an offer accepted to you walking away either as the buyer of a new home or your home sold. And so normally that is the buyer's choice on the escrow officer. However, your realtor is going to give you the best options, right? They're going to give you who they know in the industry as the best,
right,
and as somebody that can lead you in the right direction. And so, again, I have to say to the listeners, this is another reason why you want to use Monique Buchanan, because she's been in the game long enough that she knows where to guide you,
right,
where to direct you. And so your escrow officer is going to ask for certain things from you. If you live in a HOA community, they're going to ask you for documentation of that so that the buyers can review all of the rules and regulations and make sure that's where they want to go.
Right. Or if there's a trust on the property, there's so many things that we could dive in
An
on
LLC.
that. Yeah. Yeah, and that's just like with a lender, they can make or break the deals.
Absolutely.
You definitely want to make sure that the professional that you do choose, hopefully it's me and Brittany, our team.
When you call us.
Right,
No.
when you call us. But no, yeah, you want to make sure that you have these people that have proven track records that we can verify, that they know, that they know what they're doing.
And they know what to tell you to have prepared, right? Because you don't sell a home every day. You're not a realtor.
Right.
So somebody that can say, we're going to need the SRPD and know what that is.
Yes.
Tell you how to fill it out correctly and what you need to do, right? You're going to need what an appraisal is.
Right.
How that affects your property.
Right.
So using someone who is a professional means the world.
It does. And then I like what you let them know is that, the timeline. Are you prepared to move within 30 to 45 days?
Right.
Or would you like, us as your listing agent to stretch that out for you, or maybe get a seller's rent back,
right,
where you close on the property so that you can secure those funds and then take those funds to be to be able to pay for the move.
Right.
Okay, so we can do that.
Absolutely.
There are things that we can put in the contract and have the buyer sign off on so that you can go ahead and secure your funds first.
Right.
Whether that's $300,000 or $400,000, whatever your funds are for closing or selling the property. and then take that money and comfortably move to wherever it is that you're going to go on to.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's so many things.
Or a 1031 exchange.
Oh, yeah.
Not everybody knows how to do that.
Yeah, so that's very true. There's a lot of realtors that are very unfamiliar with the 1031 exchange.
And escrow officers.
Wow, right? That's crazy.
So you do need an escrow officer that knows that process as well. So again, praises to Monique, because she will walk you through how to do all of this. If you are thinking of listing your property, now is a great time. And
it is. Now, what about getting ready? What about the pretty stuff? Like, how should they prep their home? You know, I always tell them, listen, paint is cheap, okay? If you've got loud colors in your house, maybe you like that really loud orange. I actually walked into a home that I thought was beautiful.
Right.
And it did have the loud, pretty orange. I don't know what theme it was, but it was gorgeous to me. But listen,
not everybody.
Buyers, exactly. A lot of the buyers, they want more neutral.
Right.
That way they can kind of figure out and do their own thing. So paint is cheap, in comparison to, remodeling a whole kitchen.
Right.
So what are some points that you have for them too?
And the same thing to that, honestly, Monique, it's all about having a realtor that's going to guide you in the right direction. So having somebody that's going to tastefully say, let's take your family pictures down.
Yeah.
Let's just clean the baseboards, right? It'll liven up the room.
Right.
Let's maybe declutter a little bit, because when buyers walk through here, this is what they're looking for. So you want a realtor that's worked with enough buyers that they know what they're looking for.
Right.
You are not working solely with a listing agent either, because listing agents aren't necessarily in tune with what a buyer wants, right?
Absolutely.
They are more focused on the listing part. So you want both. Somebody who has both sides of the coin and can really just make it the best situation for you.
You're absolutely right. And that's so funny you said that, because I was telling them, a lot of people do know me as a buyer's agent, and I do love buyers, but that makes me an amazing listing agent as well. And because I know when I'm walking in with the buyers, I'm hearing what they're saying about each property.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So they're making this list in their head of that little nick that you've been meaning to, patch up. You know what I mean? Little things like that.
We all have one.
We all have them. And then also, they're wondering what those bills are going to be like, because maybe this is a bigger home for them. So I tell my sellers, hey, give me the last 2 months of your last bills.
Right.
I want to present that. Right on the counter. So when we show this property, they can have an idea of what that power bill is going to look like during the summer months.
Because it makes a difference.
It makes a difference to a lot of people, especially right now with the rates being so high.
Right.
And the payments are, almost twice as much as they would have been.
A couple years ago.
Back when 3% was around. So every penny counts now. They want to know, so that's what comes with being a buyer's agent full time and a listing agent.
Full time.
And we stress that, because you guys know, I'm never going to bash any of my colleagues. I love all my fellow colleagues. But I have to tell you, a lot of colleagues do it part-time. There's nothing wrong with that. But that's why you don't ask an agent, how long have you had your license?
Right.
How long? Because it does not matter.
Right.
What you want to ask them is, are you a full-time agent? Or even if you don't ask them that, how many deals have you closed in the last year? Because I never I don't like to toot my horn, and I give all grace to God, but I'm a top producer in my company.
Right.
Okay. So
top producer in the city.
Yes. And that is a blessing. You know what I mean? Because the average agent does how many deals a year, Britt? What is it? 4?
Yeah.
The average agent does 4 deals a year. Okay. So just know that. So that's what you want to ask agents. Hey, how many deals have you done in the last year? And that will help you to get an idea of, where their expertise lies. Okay. So, and there's nothing wrong with that. But anyways, guys, so yeah, there's plenty of things to be on the lookout when you're thinking about listing your property, but we are here to combat all those things and make that transition smooth for you. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we try to take that stress off of you and go ahead and take care of those things and just guide you in the right, manner. We have the handyman, we have the plumber, you know what I mean? We're your resource.
Right.
Yes, and then also you want to keep in mind that you're going to have to go through the appraisal. Okay, your home is going to, obviously, unless we accept an offer that's cash, which can happen. Right. We also will have to go through the appraisal. Okay, so just keep a couple things in mind. If you have a pool, you'll need to have a gate around that pool. Or if you do not have a gate, don't worry. we can just simply go on Amazon. There's like these little alarms that go on your door.
Right.
And they alert every time somebody opens the door in case children or something goes out the door. Now you know, so that will be required. That's like $30. It's not a big deal. But it's just something to, provide that
Be
safety.
aware of.
Yeah. You definitely want to remove anything debris in the garage if you have things blocking, for instance, the water heater and things like that. The water heater must have the earthquake straps on there.
That's a big one.
It is a big one. That one's always flagged if it's not done. Another thing that you want to look out for is that, the fire door wall for your garage needs to swing back shut.
Yes.
You remember that a lot of times?
Yes.
Yeah, it has to shut. That's, a fire hazard. It stops the fire from coming into the home so quickly. But these are things that, we know from just having buyers
experience.
And experience. You know what I mean? So this comes over years and years of being out there and putting out fires left and right. And then learning from those fires, right, Britt?
Yeah, absolutely. Being in the field and in the industry, that's how you get the knowledge.
Absolutely. And just one thing also, you want to be able to show your property. That's the biggest reason properties don't sell quickly is because, there's some kind of a hindrance.
Right. They're not available to be shown.
Right. And what do our buyers say? They're excited. They want to get out there and see right away.
Well, as a seller, remember how you felt when you were buying your house, right? You wanted to see it.
Right.
This is a major purchase. You want to know the feeling when you walk into the home. Does this feel like a place that you want to live? Not only do you want to see the color of the walls and the earthquake straps, things like that, but
I don't know if they want to see that.
but
we want to see that as realtors.
Right. But you want to be able to walk into the home that you're going to purchase. You're not an investor. You're not a flipper. You're coming in to buy this home to live in.
Right.
And so that makes a big difference.
It absolutely does. So just keep that in mind. Like Brittany said, just try to remember how you were when you were out looking at the properties. So we definitely want to be available as much as possible. And that will really help to get your home sold. And of course, pricing your property correctly. Listen, we can price it, like I always say, for the moon and the stars, we can price it for $1 million. But obviously, people nowadays, they can see online what the homes are selling for right in your neighborhood.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? And guess what? The appraiser, he's not going to care that you think your baby's the prettiest.
Right.
Because he's going to look at the other babies within 1 mile away.
Right.
And see just how cute they are, And that's how it is,
And that's
you guys.
his legal obligation.
It is. To make sure that, the buyer is not overpaying.
Right.
So we can price the home for, let's say, $700,000, okay? But at $700,000, if there's a home, within 1 mile of your home, same zip code, same single-story home or whatever,
Same specs.
Yeah, apples for apples. And their price at $659, and they sold for $659. Guess what? That just hurt your chances of getting $700,000.
Right.
Because that's now a comp. And there's no way of getting around that unless you have a cash buyer.
Exactly.
Okay, guys? And even a cash buyer is going to, have a savvy realtor to say, hey, same house sold for $659. Do you really want to pay them that much?
We don't want to overpay for a property.
Exactly. So just keep that in mind. Listen, at the end of the day, as realtors, it doesn't behoove us to try to sell for less.
Right.
Can I talk to my family straight?
Exactly.
It does not behoove me to try to sell your house for less. We want to secure, the best possible price for you. But at the end of the day, it's going to come down to the appraiser.
Absolutely.
All day long, you guys. So, and what will happen is if you price that property
too high,
and the buyers are looking, they say, wait, why is this property priced so high? I don't see anything like, it's not completely flipped. I don't understand,
Even if they like it, they're going to skip it.
Yes, they will. They'll say, you know what? I like it, but man, I can get this same almost house for $40,000 cheaper.
Exactly.
I'm going to go ahead and go with that house.
Yeah.
Because they see you guys. Everything's online. They can see, they can do 3D virtual tours even. Okay. So it's not like the olden days, where you can say, yeah, my house is the best in the block. The buyer say, no, sir, it's not.
Right.
No, I'm just being honest.
Yeah, they can see it.
They can see it. So just know that, you don't want to lose steam. The average house, when you put it on the market, it's the pretty girl on the block, is, for better words, the pretty guy on the block, whatever. For the first 2 weeks. After that, it starts to lose steam.
Absolutely.
You know what happens? Tell me if I'm telling a story on this one. I have buyers call me, Monique, the house has been on the market for 21 days, or even just 30 days, something must be wrong with it.
They start wondering why it's been on the market so long.
Right. They're looking at the pictures going, well, it looks good. And they, they don't realize that you just finally did a price reduction, but that doesn't register. All they think is, man, why isn't it selling? There must be some problem with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And now it's got a negative vibe attached to it for whatever reason that is.
It absolutely does, guys. So it is imperative. I always say, if you really think your property is worth whatever amount it is, okay, obviously this is your property. I can list it as long as it's not too crazy. We can start off a bit high. All I typically say is, hey, listen, after a week, the market will tell us if we're too high.
Right.
And if we are, we need to revisit that price.
Absolutely.
Because if you truly want to sell your home, we need to be competitive.
Well, we're in the market to sell, right?
Yeah.
We're not in the market to just put properties on the multiple listing service just for the heck of it.
No.
We're in the market to help people who really want to sell their homes.
That's right.
And if you are somebody who really wants to sell your home, you're going to price it according to not only just what is appropriate, but what it should appraise for. And that's fair, right?
Yes,
That's you being even across the board.
And at the end of the day, even if you don't have a fair price in mind, guess what? The appraiser is going to sober you right up.
Right.
Okay,
right.
So there's that. But anyways, let's also talk about the buyers that we have in the pipeline. And that's another thing is that, I do have a team. And not to mention my brokerage here is eXp Realty. All right. We're one of the top brokers in the whole city, the whole state, the whole country, actually.
Right.
We're in 18 different countries. You guys have heard me say this. In fact, I just sold a home in Florida through one of my colleagues. And guess what? He was a KUMV listener. He called me up and he said, Monique, I need help. I want to buy a property down in Florida. They just went into escrow last week. So one of my KUMV listeners, he just secured a property. And guess what? My colleague out there, my team member, he got a brand new roof on the property for the guy.
Wow.
Negotiated it.
Wow.
Right. Negotiated closing costs for him. The KUMV listener, he called me. He was so excited. He said, oh my goodness, I'm so excited, Monique. Your colleague is taking very well.
That's awesome.
Good care of
That's
me.
an awesome story.
Yeah, that just happened. So just remember that, guys. We are in 18 countries, but especially just even the show. It's heard across the United States, not just here in Nevada. So keep that in mind. So anyways, buyers. Let's pivot real quick to you guys. So a lot of you guys, I always wonder, like, what's holding you back from buying? So I hear some people, well, you know what? I owe the tax man, because that's tax season, right? I owe the tax man, Monique.
Yeah.
I haven't paid my taxes in the last 2 years. These are the calls I get.
Yes.
And it's funny. And hey, life is life. I'm
It is.
hey, guess what? I've got good news for you. All we have to do is set up a payment arrangement.
Right.
And you're fine. Work something out with the IRS. Show my lender that you've made 3 months payments and you are good to go.
There you go.
That's it,
In
guys.
good faith.
Yeah. So you can move on that. So don't feel like you cannot move on purchasing a home if you owe the tax man. Okay, now here's one that's near and dear to my heart. My people out there that have high student loan debt, maybe $100,000, $200,000, they're like, well, I was approved, but I was approved for such
a low
little,
amount.
that I can't really do anything, Mo. And so there's good news for you as well. I have a lender that can guide you on a program to where it will free up quite a bit and you'll be able to go ahead and get approved for a normal amount of money, you know, because at $100,000, they had, I think it's 1% or something like that. So it was like $1,000 payment. So that ties into your debt to income, which will lower your approval amount.
Right.
But this lender has a proven way. He just did it
Awesome.
with one of my clients, and bless her heart, I believe she had $150,000, if I remember correctly. This was about 3 months ago. And we got her with my lender, and he took care of her. She purchased a home that she wanted because she was initially approved for only $230,000. After he freed that up for her, she had a $450,000
Wow.
approval. Yeah,
That is
it was
a
a
big
major jump. I think it may have even been higher, but she wanted to stay at $450,000
Under a certain amount.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she wanted her mortgage payment to be at a certain amount. So yes, okay, guys. Now, if you are a business owner or a 1099 employee, that includes Uber drivers and things like that. You just have to do your taxes and just, provide the 2 years last, tax returns, and you guys can get going as well.
Just to prove your income.
That's it. My tip workers, I always tell you, because, I used to previously be in the service industry years ago, over a decade. It was about a decade ago now, but still I was in the industry. And now I have a lot of friends that are still in the industry, and they
want to buy a house.
They want to buy a house. They make great money, but a lot of it's not on paper.
Right.
So I tell them, I don't care if you put it in and take it right back out. I need you to put your tips in at the bank.
Right. So that we can track it.
Yeah, once a day. So that we have that on paper now. And my lender can use that to prove you. My best friend did that. She was over in Puerto Rico on her birthday. Mm-hmm. And she lives over by Bishop Gorman. And she was on her vacation. She got an email from the property management group, said, hey, you have 30 days to move. We're selling the house.
Oh my gosh.
Brittany, she called me frantic.
From Puerto Rico.
From Puerto Rico. Yeah. She calls me frantic. She was on one of them islands. And I said, don't worry about it. Luckily, she had been putting her tips in, like I told her. She's a bartender at the local bar.
So she could buy a house.
Oh, man, they approved her $500,000 immediately.
Wow.
That was 3 years ago. She's sitting on about almost $250,000 right now in equity.
What a blessing.
So, yes, we bought the house that she lived in. And and that's a whole nother thing. You need a really good realtor that knows what they're doing if you're currently living in the property and want to purchase it, because there are some things that that
can
you
be
need
negotiated.
To know. Yeah, to be negotiated.
Right.
Because you're already living there. We want that security deposit back. Yeah.
It's a different situation.
We want some closing costs,
Yes.
So anyways, that's a different thing. But anyways, all right, guys. So Brittany, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank you. I enjoyed it.
Before you leave, wait a minute, you guys. I want her to tell one story, because I remember, back when you had that one buyer and you were telling me, and now I think she just recently reached out to you. Just tell them that quick story about her.
She's actually renting now.
And that was Mountain's Edge, right? Your favorite communities, by the way. Brittany's farm and her favorite communities are Mountain's Edge in the Southwest area.
Yes.
So I have different clients that, team members, they have their little sections of Vegas that they love. Brittany is my Southwest Henderson girl.
Yes.
Go ahead.
This young lady, she was approved. It must have been 2.5, 3 years ago now. Rates were amazing. She could have gotten a house under $300,000.
In Mountain's Edge, right?
Yeah, she was approved for that amount. She had some family talk her out of buying the house. They were just telling her it wasn't big enough. It wasn't what she was looking for at the time. So she decided not to buy. And she called me about a week ago and was asking me what she could do to get approved now. We had her speak to a lender, and because of the rates and the timing, she's approved, but she can't afford the payment anymore. And so it's just unfortunate. I think as somebody who wants to buy a home, look into it as soon as possible, because right now is an amazing time for a buyer. You work with a realtor that has negotiation power. They can help you get into a home with as least amount money out of your pocket as possible in this market.
Yes.
And that's just not always the case. So remember, you have to know that you're working with a professional, like Monique said earlier, that's in it full time and that has your best interest always at top of mind. So just keep that in mind. And if you're thinking about buying or selling or any of that, you definitely can reach out.
Yeah. And another thing is, with a family, they mean well. You know what I mean?
They do.
And a lot of times family bought homes years ago. 20 years ago, they bought a house. You know what I mean? So they're still thinking about their experience. And back then it was this, and back then it was that. But unfortunately, today's market, like Fat Joe said, is not yesterday's market.
Yes.
But anyways, you guys, I'm going to go off and enjoy my birthday. I'm hoping Miss Brittany will.
Happy birthday, Monique.
Thank you. Well, join me for a glass of wine and a little jazz later.
Yeah, we'll have to do a wine Wednesday or something.
That sounds good. Okay, we'll do a wine Wednesday. All right, guys. Well, we love you. This is Monique and Brittany. And this was the Welcome Home with Monique show. I don't think I said my number one time, but don't worry, it's coming at the end of this. And you guys can always Google me. You can reach me on YouTube as well. Welcome Home with Monique is the name of the show. My phone number is 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. Welcome Home with Monique is like I said, the YouTube channel. And Welcome Home Show 91.5 at Gmail is my email address. Okay, guys, I apologize. Me and Brittany got to rolling so much, we forgot to say the phone number. But once again, 702-984-3700. Brittany, We'll have to have you on again.
It was a pleasure.
All right, guys. Have a good day.